The coin lady here, returning to my channel. Headline news from the crypto fundamentals. Under ideal conditions, BitBoy estimates that XRP's market cap will hit $6 trillion and the price will reach $52. And I'll be honest right from the bat, I agree with Ben Armstrong, aka BitBoy Crypto, on a lot of points. Additionally, I respectfully disagree with you on a few points. While it's true that $52 for XRP is within the realm of possibility, as stated in the headline, I'd like to clarify at the beginning of the video that he believes a more conservative price point is more likely. I'll elaborate on this later on, but I wanted to bring up the possibility of $52 this market cycle, just in case. To whom I ascribe a very low probability. That seems implausible to me, but he isn't actually claiming that current market cycle would likely see it play out that way. Regardless, I figured it would be a good conversation starter, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on whether there are any areas where I disagree with Ben Armstrong. To clarify, this is simply a polite debate and in no way intended to be an attack on him. Nevertheless, as I mentioned in an earlier video, it is not my opinion that he is very resilient. People assault him to a sufficient degree. My guess is that he's become used to it. However, such is not the case here. Even while I don't agree with him on everything, I do think he makes a lot of sense on some points. While we do have some respectful disagreements on this issue, I will tell you that he and I both believe that XRP's price is likely to go much higher than where it is today during this market cycle. I should preface this by saying that I come from absolutely no financial background. Please do not base your investment decisions on my recommendations. I am not a financial advisor. As a hobby and for fun, I enjoy making films on YouTube regarding crypto-related subjects. I'm just an enthusiast. Okay, then, let's get right into this section. If Bitcoin's price reaches $150,000, according to popular crypto analyst Ben Armstrong, aka BitBoy, XRP's market valuation might approach $6 trillion. In a recent appearance on the Thinking Crypto podcast, BitBoy voiced this sentiment. When asked about his price estimate for XRP, host Tony Edward prompted BitBoy to first outline his best-case scenario. For the record, Armstrong has stated that his initial XRP price target was anywhere from $18 to $25. I'll pause to add that I don't think that range is at all ridiculous. Although I am not going to bet on the outcome of this market, I do admire him and everyone else who is willing to take a risk by predicting the future value of something. However, I do not, simply because I am not a man who is fond of trucks. Therefore, if I were to do it on my own, I would simply feel like I'm dragging something behind me. It would fall short of being authentic enough. Because of this, I've held the broad belief that XRP will hit another all-time high in enterprise discovery at some unspecified moment in the future, ever since it reached its all-time high 6.5 years ago. Therefore, the issue becomes, how high will it go? I won't pretend to know, but I do have general opinions about different price points when I see them. The fact that XRP has been consolidating for a while and has legal clarity gives me hope that we can reach those levels, even though I'm less confident than, say, $10, which may be too conservative, but I still don't think it's crazy or impossible. Even though I don't think it's the most likely outcome, I do acknowledge that, like crazy stuff happens in crypto, and if a crazy amount of money flows into Bitcoin specifically, I think it will be sloshing around the entire cryptosphere. I think a huge amount of that will end up reaching XRP. So, it's definitely within the realm of possibility. That is a sure thing. He mentioned that he even imagined that, so you should see it if he keeps going. With a market valuation of over $5 trillion, he predicts that XRP might reach $52 if all the stars align. Yeah, and I have to pause and figure out why the crypto basics said it wouldn't be close to $5 trillion if you include these, because that's how you figure out market cap. The supply in circulation, which is about 56 billion, is what you use. My guess is that they messed up the math. Multiplying 52 by the current market price would put it at just under $3 trillion. On the other hand, if they used the total supply of XRP, which is close to 100 billion, and the maximum supply, which is 100 billion, then it would make sense. Even if they did, I still don't understand what they were up to, so I remain uncertain. According to BitBoy, the piece includes Ripple's an initial public offering, IPO, and the creation of an exchange-traded fund, ETF, for XRP. I think they made a mistake, but I wanted to bring it up here. That would justify these ambitious goals. In his opinion, XRP might reach new heights if these two things happen at the same time. Alright? Consequently, I respectfully disagree with you on those 2 points. That doesn't seem likely to me. For a few reasons. The first thing to keep in mind is that this is about any good news about Ripple, namely on their business developments. I am not aware of a single incident, and I am unable to conceive of even one. Additionally, if you can identify an anomaly, I would be open to hearing about it, but please note that it is an outlier. Over the past decade, Ripple has consistently delivered a deluge of great business news, yet I am unable to recall a single case where XRP's price rose in tandem with this news. I find it hard to comprehend that they are launching an initial coin offering, IPO, when it isn't even related to XRP. In my opinion, the likelihood of XRP seeing a price reaction that is both significant and long-lasting is extremely low. The market can experience momentary euphoria. And if there's positive news, particularly if we're in a stage of market exuberance, it might move little. What kind of long-term changes can we expect from that? Personally, I don't believe that. And if I'm mistaken, then so be it, all I'm doing is expressing my opinion. Furthermore, in regards to the XRP ETF, I would state that it is identical if one were to examine it. When considering the long term, I remain of the opinion that Bitcoin will significantly affect the price of XRP, and I mean decades rather than just a few years. Unless, of course, you anticipate the complete collapse of those investment vehicles. In my opinion, that is highly unlikely. If you believe it will collapse, that's okay, but if it will hold its own, I can see a lot of money flowing in that direction. After all, XRP would be supporting it if it were an ETF. The same holds true for Bitcoin, particularly when discussing a shorter time frame. The Bitcoin crisis is fresh in our minds. Many stories predicted that it would continue to skyrocket. Well, it has been fluctuating erratically for the past 6 months. So that's not going to happen. In fact, it's completely false. The market's ability to react to news is irrelevant. I mean, it could happen, but I don't think it would cause the floodgates to open. Taking into account the amount of money already invested in the Bitcoin ecosystem, amounts that I've highlighted in my recent videos, isn't enough to cause a material difference in the price of Bitcoin compared to where it is now. There has just not been. At this point, the Bitcoin ETF is a huge success. Still, I'm merely stating that when you consider the incoming volume and dollar amounts, one could argue that Bitcoin's price would be somewhat lower, but there's simply not enough money flowing in to justify it. In my opinion, XRP is no different. I respectfully disagree with him on that point as well, but there are many others where I completely agree with him. Continuing with the post, I believe that XRP will participate in the alt season. In any case, the idea that XRP would do nothing except wait around baffles me. The status quo is unchanged. Notably, the XRP army is optimistic about the establishment of an ETF in the US because it would open the cryptocurrency to new investors. The key argument in favor of buying is the possible price impact, which is reminiscent of the situation when Bitcoin reached an all-time high after the launch of ETFs prior to its most recent fall. Yeah. However, it is worth noting that prior to the news graphic, individuals were already predicting such actions for Bitcoin. Even if it were included, I still wouldn't believe it. According to those in the know, Ripple's initial public offering, IPO, will expose XRP to a wider audience, which should lead to more acceptance and a higher price. That is the argument, and if it is not that he stated that or that part, then I don't see how that makes sense either. The lad had already stated that, obviously. But Ripples aren't trying to sell you XRP, they're just being honest about how they'll engage with the community, agree or not. However, if you are referring to a full-scale push, then here is what we do, and XRP is available for purchase. That is not what they are doing. that hasn't been their practice. I'm not going to buy that. I just do not believe it. Their XRP activities are all at the enterprise level. Peace remains, however. Nevertheless, Armstrong emphasized that XRP would rely on funds from other coins, such as Cardano, to reach new levels of success. The rivalry between Cardano and XRP was brought up by him, and he expressed sympathy for the Cardano community. According to BitBoy, a lot of Cardano investors have already paid the sunk cost and can't move their money to XRP or another asset that might do better. Regarding XRP's meteoric rise to the top, I must admit that I agree with some of that. When things start to go haywire, I agree. Lots of other cryptocurrencies, perhaps even Cardano, will be sold. In general, though, I believe that people will sell whatever they have and try to follow the green candle. So, it's an opinion I share. I see your point. We are aware that people act in such a way. On this occasion, why wouldn't they? They will, without a doubt. Regarding Cardano in particular, Ben Armstrong might be correct. There are many people who are afraid of missing out on things that are happening right now. Regarding Cardano's long-term sustainability or performance in current market cycle, I am not very knowledgeable. I will simply inform you. I have been a Cardano investor. It was extremely cheap when I bought it in 2017. When I purchased it, the thought was worth maybe a few pennies. I am therefore keeping it still. Right now. However, I must confess that I am uncertain about its performance in current market cycle, which is why I do that. May or may not do well. I prefer large cap coins, then mid caps, and nearly no small caps, because I want exposure in a wide range of markets. That is my profession. I don't consider myself a magician, so I'm grateful for the exposure, even though I don't anticipate all of my shots to land. Actually, I'm quite sure I'm not. I fail miserably at selecting each one. Having a wide range of investments increases the likelihood that, as the crypto market grows, I will likely have some successful ventures. When that happens, I will be able to sell most, if not all, of my holdings since, as I mentioned before, I am confident in my ability to succeed in any endeavor. I agree with him that, generally speaking, his point is valid in that respect. The status quo is unchanged. At the same time, Armstrong raised the possibility that an XRP price of $52 is too high. Like many other analysts, he thought that $8 to $10 would be a more reasonable price for XRP. My video's viewers have my gratitude. Bye for now, and please subscribe and like my channel.